Hello friends, good morning. In last two chapters of Maharashtra First we have talked about SMEs Saguna Baugh and Two Brothers Organic Farm. Keeping our focus on agriculture field which is largest employment generation, today we are going to talk about company which comes from rural Maharashtra but having 13 manufacturing plants across India, also having Golbal presence. Jain Irrigation Systems, Jalgaon. Not only I have worked in their factory for my engineering college project, many of my friends are employed there. Mr. Ashok Promotive Group also supported my father's social activities in recent past. Hence JISL is very close to our heart. So this Jain Irrigation Systems is impacting the lives of over 3 million farmers by helping them shift to more scientific and sustainable agriculture. Inspired by the credo agriculture, a profession with a future, founder of the company Boalal has gave up a career in law and moved towards trading and manufacturing agri-products. Group has vision to give back to society, based on Gandhi's notion of trusteeship, where wealth belongs not to an individual but should be used for the benefit of the community. JISL wants to develop businesses and products that help farmers produce more with less, with more products and appliances for agriculture based on solar energy, increasing contract farming, food processing and spice production. It's one of a kind. A train hitched to 50 or sometimes 70 specially designed container wagons that carries only bananas. Packed to the hilt once every week, it chugs along from JISL in Maharashtra's Jalgaon district to the markets at Azadpur Mandi in Delhi. Since it started regular services last decade, the Banana Express become a symbol of the increasing agricultural abundance in the area. The region has been producing fruit for over a century, but harvests have rarely been as consistent or remunerative as in the last decades. Raver Taluka in Jalgaon is recognized by the state government for generating agricultural income of over Rs 5,000 crore every year. But it was not always like this. Much of the profusion can be attributed to changed agricultural practices in the last 15 years back. Using tissue-cultured saplings to produce better quality fruit has enriched the 150 square km area that produces a fourth of India's bananas. Nearly all of the acreage is now irrigated by micro, or drip, irrigation systems. A lot of the change is driven by one man's persistence and vision of creating shared value for his customers. For close to 3 decades, Bhavalal Jain, founder and chairman of Jain Irrigation, has led the charge to convince farmers to change their ways to make them more sustainable and profitable. He has also built a business that is unprecedented in terms of impact on the lives of millions of farmers around India. By now, declining water tables all over the country have made the benefits of micro-irrigation apparent in various soil conditions. What was earlier limited to orchards has found acceptance in other crops. Though he is no more, his sons are taking his vision ahead. The systems that JISL pioneered are now being used in many other water-stressed states and have won global acclaim and innumerable awards. Farmers have been to Harvard Business School to present their story. Ashok, Anil, Ajit and Achal, who look after operations, have taken the company global. Anil, managing director of Jain Irrigation, represented the company at the G8 Summit on Food Security in past. Paradoxically, despite rapid growth in sales, keeping the business profitable has become tougher. Fixing the model, without damaging the farmer's interest, is a tough problem that company have been grappling with in past. The farmer is the pivot of Jain Irrigation's business philosophy. To help farmer to invest in irrigation system, Group has also launched non-banking finance company, NBFC, called SAFL, Sustainable Agro-Commercial Finance Limited. The farmer used to receive subsidies from the government, and as subsidies going down, SAFL can bridge that gap. The loan is like a bridge finance till the farmer is able to pay. JISL has their ups and downs in last 40 years. One such event was of a Sioux bank chief who had initiated bankruptcy proceedings against Jain Irrigation for dues of Rs 5 crore. When company invited him to visit the plant, he said, "I don't care if you've built a Taj Mahal there. You are defaulting on my funds." Group took the insult in their stride and was able to finally pay back the money. Company had the last laugh a few years later when the same bank chief wanted to be part of a consortium set up to lend Rs 250 crore to the company. Realization dawned when the mothership began sinking. It has been much more focused. The 4 businesses it picked were agricultural inputs, food processing, plastic products and renewables. The logic for being there is clear. All these are core to the farmer and each one helps in reviving rural India, says Anil. This improved focus was reflected in Jain Irrigation revenues grew and earnings zoomed. The group has been able to achieve scale on a variety of products. It is now the largest maker of plastic pipes in India and the second largest producer of drip irrigation equipment in the world. Companies are driven to take on acts of corporate social responsibility, led by rising expectations of the world around them. But it can only be superficial unless it comes from within. Many companies outsource this work to an NGO. What matters is, are you moved by what you do? This is what group thinks. Gandhi Teth, Horticulture Lab, Eye Hospital, School, social donations are various activities in which group is actively involved. Some entrepreneurs have mission statements which focus on maximizing shareholder value. They are probably thinking of themselves, since they are often the largest shareholders. The capitalist model of doing business often tends to ignore society. Miles away from company office, Harish Patel is a small farmer who grows watermelon and cotton in a rocky field. He uses drip irrigation systems made by the JISL, but as much as the systems, he is also in touch with the company's associates and employees, who visit at least once or twice a fortnight. They offer advice on seeds, saplings, crop spacing, pesticide, irrigation and even buyback deals for the fruit. Patel's early lesson on water conservation from them was, don't irrigate the soil, irrigate the plant. He now manages a good crop with just 3 hours of water supply a day. Over the years, company has built a team of agronomists, who train the associates, hired from the region to keep in touch with the farmers. VB Patel, manager, agronomy and training, is one of them. He takes pride in the fact that he has worked for the state government, for an MNC chemical company, for a seed company before moving to Jain Irrigation. He heads the team of 100 associates working in Maharashtra. Similar teams exist in other states. They specialize in individual crops, and are able to hand-hold the farmer right through, Patel says. He is in touch with pretty much all the important agricultural as well as social events in the farmer's life. Very few companies have this kind of network. We are around for weddings as well as funerals in the family, he says, summing it up. Aparigraha, the concept of non-possessiveness, inspires much of company's business and life. Group admires the work that the Tata trusts are doing and is studying their model to see what could work best for the farmers. On a practical level, this principle is applied in the company almost daily. Jain Irrigation has labs for R&D in seeds and tissue culture, and work on various innovations. Yet, the company will not file for any patents. The idea is for people to use the innovation and maybe even make it cheaper or more effective, says Sunil Deshpande, Senior VP, Food Processing. The most recent example of this is an onion seed planting machine, developed by the company. A conventional agri-planter, costing about Rs 50,000, was of little use in small farms, apart from being expensive. This machine costs Rs 15,000 and the company has sold it to people who want to reverse engineer it to make it cheaper, he says. Jain Irrigation's mission is to leave the world better than you found it. Jain's decisions as a businessman are often based on this. I have a negative list of businesses, he said. I will, for instance, never enter mining, or any business that makes money from human weaknesses. Sticking to this philosophy often affects the bottom line. Coca-Cola is a big customer for mango pulp, used in its fruit drink Maaza. It has suggested that the JISL extend their preferred supplier status to start providing sugar needed for its beverage business. But Jain has not allowed this so far. Reason? Growing a water-guzzling crop like sugarcane in Maharashtra, where the water table is so low, is criminal, he said. We are here not just for this quarter or this year. Our customer is the primary producer. We will both be here for the next 100 years, or 500. We at Maharashtra First also feels the same, that we all have to work towards betterment of farmer so that he will prosper and with him our region also. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to comment.
Our school is a temple of knowledge, and the first time when Dadaji came in the school and we saw him, he taught us many new things, and we are from the world which he has dreamed. Anubhuti school too was very close to his hand. My father is a rickshaw driver, but he is a drinker. So, and my mother works in a factory. So we were not having the hope that we will get such a nice school to study. We will not get education. So after Dadaji took us in the school, our life changed.